Hello everyone, we are live with our first series of the day. It's been a pretty good start for G2 as they did win the first map over Heroic. Can they carry it on and overthrow them, take the full 6 points as we see the action go down live in the Intel Esports Arena? We'll find out, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we want to just talk a bit about that map, a weird one to watch. I guess is one way of looking at it, right? You know, you think Heroic looking really good, 11-4 half, and then they win a single round. Basically thanks to Modi as well. It was 3 kills from him. It just makes you wonder, like, what were they doing on that CT side? Because G2 were able to do everything they wanted. There was nobody stopping them. The one round they did stop them from doing something was when Mertz got boosted short and he got that opening kill. And they were in disarray. They didn't really know what to do. They had to roll B. Modi dealt with them. And from that, they just didn't do anything else. It was quite weird. It
is odd, and it's one of those where sort of questions have to be raised. If you missed the game yesterday versus Windigo that Heroic played on Dust 2, it was very all over the shop. Much like this, but it was their T side where the majority of the issues lied. This time around, it was much better. Mertz was popping off. The whole thing came together, and we expected, all right, maybe they've actually been able to upset and overthrow G2 here. But no. Existence came into full effect, the calls looked good, had a smart read, and the entire team started to perform, whereas Heroic just looked completely lost.
Yeah, the only player trying to fight back on that CT was S3 He had over 20 kills again. He's probably one of the more consistent performers that we've seen so far in Pro League. He's always getting at least 20 kills. Very impactful kills as well at that, usually multis. And you wonder where is the backup going, like when is it going to come? Where is it going to come from as well? Because Mertz, it's all good that he was playing quite well in the first half. He was getting a lot of ADR, right? He was doing a lot of tags. He was influencing the map in that way. But otherwise, the CT side, he didn't really show up.
No. And it's hard to call, because obviously S-Tag, he's been one of those players that has always tried to prove his worth. Even when he wasn't in the roster for a while, when he got removed, and he was sort of in that trial period. Every time he would play, he would have a good performance. It was almost as if he wanted to try and show how much he's worth. And still steps up again today, but unfortunately no one was there to aid him a little bit and be a support beam around him, so the team did falter. Now moving on to Inferno, what are you thinking about this one?
So if we look at the game yesterday, G2, they beat FaZe on Inferno, 16-9. But if you cast our minds back a bit towards the major, G2 looked diabolical on Inferno. They are 16-4 to Col, 16-4 to MIBR as well. It was not a good map for them. Maybe the fact that they beat FaZe on it, it's a sign of life, right? That they're trying to get better. But that was backed up by Kenny having 30 kills.
Yeah.
To win on Dust 2 just then, they basically had Shocks on 30 kills as well. So yeah, it looks like they're relying on their star players to pop off, because otherwise it doesn't look like they're going to get it done.
And you can't always rely on that. It's not something that is going to happen all the time. We'll have a look at the odds now as well to see how that is going to be reflected. Okay.
Yeah, a bit closer odds-wise. If you look at the win rates, Heroic, they've only played Inferno 3 times with this roster, won 2 of the 3. G2, on the other hand, they've won 50% out of the 12 that they've played. It's been a very topsy-turvy map for them. But if you consider Inferno, everybody should be able to play it, right? It's that map that every team, you look at it like, okay, we should start with Inferno, we'll get that done. But it's an underdog map. And right now, I don't think there's a clear underdog in this match. Both teams are kind of trying to prove the point that they are better than the other.
Yeah.
But there's no clear underdog, and I don't really know who to favour in this one. Like, if Kenny or Shocks are playing well, it probably does go to G2. But otherwise, they look hopeless.
Well, who would you go for then in your prediction for this last map?
I'm going to say G2 will take it. But again, I think it will be in that same sort of score, that 16-11 to 16-14 range.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, that last game was pretty close. It was only really when they changed halves that G2 was somehow able to explode. I think overall G2 should lock this one down, just because Heroic have looked a little bit scrappy. G2 have as well, but they seem to be having at least more firepower.
It's cohesive scrappiness, right? It's like the idea that aggression on its own is not great, but if you work it together, it looks really good, right? The comparison I always use would be Windigo on Mirage on that day 1. They were being so aggressive, but there was teamwork behind it, and it looked good.
It's true. Well, we are into the matchup now. Heroic versus G2. Heroic going to be the CTs in this one. And to kick it off, G2 on the T side.
So the nades on Kenny S, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Normally...
Not what you'd expect.
He has armor, right? He's a star player. But instead he takes the hit, and Modi takes a lot of hits. He dies.
Yeah, already gone, which is a good start. Mertz looking to try and trade it back if possible. He does play towards box, gets a little tag off on Shocks. He looked like he was quick switching, so he went for that as well.
Yeah, I don't know what Shocks was quick switching with. There's no grenade in play, and he goes really aggressive, but they're fighting at Banana instead. So Shocks, he did pull a player towards that site. Mertz was the only player there. Unfortunately for G2, they get both kills with Banana. Kenny still has a smoke. He can smoke CT. Don't need to risk this. There's a gap on that. He can see a tiny little bit through the gap, but unfortunately not enough to land the shot for it.
It's crazy as well that Kenny, the only one without armor, he was the entry man there. Got the first pick and was able to build them into this round. Freiburg goes for the rotate, but he's left lifeless in Garden. Mertz will trade it back on Spiffs, but it's still such a hard task. A 1 versus 3. Not likely for him to pick this up. This should be G2 getting the opening round, which they will. Body punishes him, and G2 secure that one.
Another instance where there was no kit in play for the CTs there as well. So Mertz, he needed to kill all 3 players in the space of, what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Such a big ask. Very unlikely, as shown right there. So one of the maps that most teams do force back on. You can see the 3 smokes bought by Freiburg and S3 like that. So I mentioned this a few days ago where there's so many choke points, you can keep smoking it, try and delay as long as you can. But with an experienced IGL like Existence, this shouldn't be as much of a factor, right? You should be knowing teams can do that. And that spam through the wall from Body has some good damage onto Modi, but do they know that Asilian is close though? Shox is ready, but I don't know if he'll be willing to take this battle.
It's always risky in apartments here when you have that SMG in your hands. Those pistols can be so powerful from close range, especially if he doesn't clear the correct angle. There is 2 of them though then. And they get the first frag and the follow-up. Asilian goes down to Body. Shox was able to kill Modi. And now the 3 players have to fast rotate round towards that A site. The only one that's on the scene is Mertz. He actually does get the first kill. Couldn't grab the gun though, and Shox follows it up with the MP5. Another fact down so far with the SMGs. This is good for their cash.
Quite a wild kill there from Mertz. Fully adapting using that deagle to body shot, knowing he's not going to get the 1 deagle angle. Might as well just spam it as much as he can. He gets that 1 kill, but as you mentioned, he didn't get the gun. Left himself in a bit of a rough spot. And G2 with the plant down, this will be 2-0, but it depends on how many guns can throw take off them. It's not a good start for them though. S3 the only one left alive. Does have armor. Hoping to stay alive here, right? There's 2 players that are low, and they're both sitting together, Smith's on Body. They're not going to venture any further. But will Existence take a peek through mid though? He needs to get out of the site at some point. Little does S3 know, he's so close to the players that are really low here. You'll hear 1 player running through palm. He heard in the mid as well. If he even gets a single kill, looking the wrong way unfortunately, he was chasing Shox. Shox was making so much noise in the apartments. And G2, they take every single player out, meaning no armor prevails into this round. We can probably guarantee 3-0 here. A good start from G2, carrying on that T-side momentum. It's going to be diabolical if these nades land. Ooh, they peek. And that's 3 grenades up mid. And such a quick round.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. 3-0. So 2 SMGs do get kept though. So I believe they didn't opt to go for that up Spurs, did they, last time? They went for it in the 5th round instead. Question is, will they do it this time? So if Heroic have watched the VOD, they'll know it probably won't be an up burst if they do keep their guns. Mertz does pick up his orb as well. Banana pressure, not as much as a normal team would do. The Existence will be here. They'll probably send Smiths at the top. Just make sure they get the control, and that'll be that. So this is playing out similar to that first buy we saw from G2 and Inferno yesterday as well. Smoking to CT. They're already getting utility off that B site. It's really, really well done from G2. And because of that pressure, they know we might as well just collectively go towards mid. So they get Brackus control. Nobody playing it on the heroic side. But Mertz, open arch. Fully blinded! He was in the middle of nowhere, but he doesn't actually get taken advantage of. The full kill comes through. Just the 1 player left, and that take has gone beautifully. They only lose Smith here at Mach 10. Perfect situation for them to be in, and Heroic, they have to save. That has played out so well for G2. Thinking about the grand scheme of things, they got the banana pressure, they made sure the 2 players stayed there. And then from that, they got top mid, and it was very, within 10 seconds, getting Brackus control. They execute onto both sides of mid, quad and arch. I'm not sure what he was doing. He was like jumping around, mini, but not on the safe side.
Yeah.
It was so odd. So if you think about the collective score, G2 now, if you think about T rounds alone, they've won 16-1 in this series. Quite one-sided.
It is ridiculous. G2 have been popping off. They've been looking really effective. Shock should even get a little bit more here. It does go down, but Existence can trade it, so it's not some extra money onto the SMG at least, to the side of Heroic. And S-Tag can save that weapon. Body, quite lucky there, survives on 8 HP as well.
Yeah, because the plant was in a bit of a different location, he was able to live in pit despite having, I think it was like 30 health.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, they keep the M4, and it looks like there'll be some armor picked up on the pistols as well. It's a big ask for S-Tag to actually get involved in this round, isn't it really? He has to get such a big, you know, multi-kill really. He has to get 2, maybe 3 kills. But G2, it seems like that combo Smiths and Existence, they've been trusted quite well on every default. They must work so well together just to believe that they can do it, even though they don't have that same firepower. But again, they took half of banana control and they're exiting towards mid. It's going to be easy pickings for them. Smith, he probably won't check that corner though. He does!
Oh, Smith glides into checking it as well, Ben. Shows off his aerobic skills, as they will be able to take control of the A bomb site, and it is only Freiburg and S-Tag that remain. And they don't really have much of a chance into this one. It's a 2 versus 5. They have the investment S-Tag, so he needs to save again. And Freiburg can't really do too much either. He's on 50 HP. There's not really much of a chance for him to do anything. And if he can get an exit, that'd be great, but likelihood is slim.
Yeah, it's very unlikely, especially as all the G2 players are so healthy. The only player that really should be thinking about hunting would be Smiths. But unfortunately, Freiburg, he's going to be facing the shots here.
Ooh.
Taken through the corner of the wall. Rough.
Some renovating done there.
To his face.
S-Tag, the only one that is left. He's just going to have to save. He should get through again, so that's a double save for him. But 5 rounds now accumulated already for G2, and they're racking these together quite rapidly.
Yeah, it's a very scary thing for Heroic, right? So they're going to play this buy round through. If they lose this, there should be a pause. Because, you know, that's when you start thinking, it's always in my mind, 2 buy rounds. If you lose both of them while doing your regular stuff. Okay, Nasu.
Yeah, the Heroic coach has killed himself.
So, if he killed himself there and actually a player on the other team got $300,
yeah,
there would need to be match manic. But
hopefully
unnoticed,
no one got the
I guess.
extra cash, yeah.
Assuming nobody got extra cash. So 3 players towards banana. Heroic doing something different. And G2, very different as well. They're committing hard to it. And Desperate, he didn't even get a chance. He got double nade out the server.
Yeah, just completely bodied. Zillion, though, stays alive, but he doesn't get that second kill. Maybe if he would have, he could have bought his teammates some time, but it's done. This round's already over. This is going to be a 6-0.
Save again.
Yeah, literally,
the call.
just constantly saving again. The Mighty Max call.
Very angry Mighty Max call. Frustrated, annoyed.
Yeah.
Some of the emotions going through Max at that time. And I imagine some of these players will be feeling the same. You know, S is like, he saved that M4 2 rounds in a row, and he died without seeing the enemy. He got double naded straight from sandbags, and that was it. And Mertz, he's going to hope to save this, but how quick is this closeout going to be? On the minimap, you can see every angle basically getting closed in on. Not as fast as you probably would expect it to, but Shocks. Depends on the timing here. If Mertz checks this corner at the wrong time, that's the wrong time. Shocks might get the drop on him in this next peek, if he does peek it. When the bomb explodes, Shocks might just start running at him. There it is. He gets the kill though.
Yeah.
So that's fully orchestrated. Shocks with a classic. There's going to be a lot of noise just from that bomb explosion. I'll rush him on the last bit. Look at how much money G2 have. 12k is the lowest. That's outrageous.
They're minted, Ben. The billionaires to Hollywood Boulevard right now. Everyone is loaded. And they will actually go for a pause as well.
Had to come through, right? Because they've not really had any chance in any of these rounds. The closest one was arguably the pistol, weirdly. And G2, smooth sailing, keeping that momentum going. 6-0 already. And it's not really been like one player being incredibly, you know, well versed in this game. Like they're quite, you know, 4 or 5 kills, 6, body on 8. Everybody's chiming in when needed, and the calls have been phenomenal from Existence. Like, you know, he called that perfectly. Banana, we're gonna go fast here, straight after the pause. Caught them out, even though there's 3 players. It worked really well.
Yeah, it's been looking better and better. And now, what is going to be the play from the lifestyle, the rich and the famous in G2 here? They have so much money to play with. Heroic, however, only have 1 weapon, and it is the AWP on Mertz. He looked very good with it on T-side Dust 2. Is there going to be some kind of oomph coming out of him?
He's going banana. the Molotovs come through, it's not actually shoving off an angle. The Molotovs missed. It's landed a bit too far, and Mertz couldn't retreat fully just then, but he did take some damage on the way out. And that nade might actually reach him as well. Oh, Freiburg took a heavy hit from that as well. So even though they've got the man advantage, it's not, you know, fantastic for them, because right now damage across the board is going in G2's favour. So Existence would be quite annoyed at that situation, especially, I imagine, actually it was his own Molotov by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Annoyed at himself, perhaps. So the mid take comes through. Arch smoke, Molotov on the quad side. Practice control is cleared. And they've got 4 players now on less than 55 health. If the Molotov comes in at dark spot at B, I fear for Mertz's life because there's no smoke to bail him out. We saw around yesterday where a player was stuck at back right and he got mollied, but he sat in that smoke for so long. Chris J, I believe it was. He lived for so long. Take's going to come through. Smoke landed towards Coil. The Molotov towards that does come through. Mertz is going to have to be forced into the pillar angle.
Mertz gets 1 kill though, takes down Body as the push comes out. It's all been that AWP, but the AWP is gone. Shox trades it back, they push out on towards the bomb site. Freiburg is there, but can he really get anything going for the team? If he can try and get another pick, it would be great. Smiths does go down, and Shox will trade it. It's a 2-on-3. They're into a good position. Freiburg's kill was massively impactful, and Kenny S is so low. Shox has to do everything as he gets 1 and 2, racks them up. Kenny with the final kill, and still they go undefeated. 7-0.
G2 kind of bailed out there. Whichever player threw the Molotov towards Dark, it missed. It landed on top of those boxes. I normally call it Stanley because there was an incident where at Prem, I believe, in doing like the Elite Series,
yeah, he
would sit on the boxes and he did really well from it. And he was one of the few players to do it. And unfortunately, the Molotov landed on top of that, which meant Mertz was able to get that 1 kill. Thankfully, Shox lands that kill, trades it instantly. And now Heroic, they're resorting to the double AWP once more. Essetag and Mertz picking 1 up each. Question is, what are they planning to do with it? Because they've not looked good in any of these rounds. That was a closer round than we've seen so far.
And Nathan doing 5 damage there to Smiths. Freiburg going to go for the face. Goes for the little pre-fire spam through the smoke, but doesn't connect onto anyone, unfortunately. There is another tag though. G2 being slapped up ever so slightly, but the first big trade. Damage. Wow.
Shox gets so much damage to Mertz, but thankfully, Modi on the balcony trades that damage straight back. It's looking better for Heroic this round, but question is, what are G2 going to do? They still got 4 smokes. There's no flashes available there. This will be a dry execute or a dry just take from G2 if it comes in. Thankfully for Heroic, they still had that smoke on Mertz. He's able to smoke mid. The App Burst is going to come through. This is going to be dry. I mentioned there's no flashes left. Modi's going to get caught out. There's no support really other than Acilia.
Oh, all the kills go in the way of Heroic now. It's a great spot to be in. This should be their first round picked up here from this point, as it is only Body and Shox that remain. It's an open AK. No utility to give them some extra leeway. They don't have those grenades.
I like this move. Shox keeps the AWP, stays alive. He let Body just try and break their money a bit. It's not worth... They don't know that the second AWP is in play. They know that Mertz had one, but they don't know Essetag did have one. So Shox is trying to stay alive. There's no need for him to hunt with this. He can keep it himself. He has plenty of money. So Heroic win their first round of this game so far. And primarily down to Mertz, if I'm honest.
Their first round in a very long time against G2.
Definitely. You know, you think about it in grand scheme of things, they only got 1 in that second half and Dust 2. And it's been, you know, it's round 9 now, they just got their first. So, not looking great for them on that CT side today. Hopefully it changes things after winning 1. Ooh. Spotted crossing the pit, they're just going straight up mid. They saw him jump across, they walk it all this way. If they were to walk up and catch him on the way out, this could be very, very bad.
Goes over, the peak comes around, Shox gets the early entry. That was smooth as he kills Acilia. Mertz will try and trade it back and gets another pick. Takes down Body at the very least, so it falls back into a 4-on-4. Body from the pit, forced out as the Molotov just burn him out of the angle. But he's still able to hold and defend towards quad side. Freiburg's rotating in, the smoke is there, drops a molly as the smoke dissipates. That's actually giving them a bit of leeway.
Timing.
They've got through Arch.
Shox is going to catch him on the way back. I don't think he'll be expecting to peek into it.
Ooh.
But he doesn't get the kill.
He was
It's a really big kill.
That's huge, but there's the trade from Existence. Takes out Modi, and they're back on the 3-on-3. It's a level playing field. So important that Kenny S gets this kill, but the timing's awful, and he doesn't do it. Freiburg. How has he been able to find all 3 of those kills?
Saving the day, really. You know, getting kills from positions he shouldn't.
No.
And Heroic, they win another one, but they lost 2 players. Again, the money's not looking fantastic for them. G2, that bank is still not broken. They've got at least another 2 buy rounds coming, regardless of the outcomes there. So Kenny now given that AWP again. I don't think G2 have seen the double AWP from Heroic though. That's quite a big tie. I thought that would be a clean shot onto his arm there. Unfortunately not for Mertz. Nice pop flash there from Assyrian to clear out the Apps corridor. Modi was able to clear that, did not see an enemy. Now G2 heavily focused towards mid here. The AWP at Banana's got complete control. He's not had to challenge anyone. And as 8 comes through, Modi doesn't even win that fight. And Mertz does not either. It's a bad situation for Assyrian.
Headshot from Assyrian gets the frag over on Body, and it is a 3 versus 4 now. S attack towards bottom mid. If he goes for the play, it could be quite a cheeky decision. The angle is being held by Smiths, and he realizes it's not worth the risk. If they lose this next player, the whole round could fall to bits, and Assyrian gets tagged up as well, but Freiburg gets the trade. Unfortunately, Assyrian does go down, and it forces the hand of S attack. The angle's still being held. Smiths, it's a free pick, and it is all up to Freiburg in a 1 versus 3. G2, surely they picked this round up. Freiburg is sprinting behind them. He goes through the smoke, gets a kill on Smiths, and he's back in a 1-on-2. But Shox is so low.
Shox is very low. Kind of needing the AWP in this situation, really. Freiburg, half health. Smoke fades. He's walking me. He knows where Shox is. It's a beautiful shot. It's very winnable. 1-on-1. Freiburg, 41 HP. He's already got 3 kills this round. Doesn't land the shot. Kenny with a beautiful headshot. And Heroic. That round was 3v5. They managed to get it down to a 1v1, but that was purely down to Freiburg's heroic plays, if I'm honest.
And Shox has been an absolute godsend for G2, really, into this matchup. So effective. 12 kills to his name.
Yeah, despite being like the lurker on this T side, like very dedicated lurker as well. He has been getting the kills when needed, as you mentioned. So Heroic, they get the double AWP back in. Even though S-Stack, he hasn't really needed to use that AWP yet. Like the only time he's actually had contact was when Smiths, that round just then, caught him out. And Heroic, look at this dedication. They're playing 4 towards mid. Like G2 have been heavily focused towards that part of the map the past few rounds. It's a very heavy investment, but I'm not too sure if G2 will even be there to test it. The longer it goes on, the worse it is for Heroic. It's an interesting molly being lined up there by S-Attack. Does Molotov off the corner. He fakes that they're retaking Banana. So you can see Existence fell back. Smith's holding at the half wall. Body and Kenny S, they just get caught out. Freiburg's playing really well these last few rounds.
Freiburg's kind of just been the one player trying to step up and wake Heroic up in a lot of these rounds, really. He's had massive performance through both this map and Dust 2.
Modi, he doesn't see him! He's right in front of him!
Oh, Shox.
What?
Hiding in plain sight. Shox! The hat trick of frags, one after another,
How?
and he keeps it going! Turns it into the quad kill. He's won the round single-handedly. We said he's been such an impact player, but barrels of impact frags tied to him there, Ben. Absolute lunacy.
I don't understand. How has Modi not heard him drop for 1? 2, he's not seen him on his screen. It's not a case of 4x3 either. If anything, your screen is cut off the top and the bottom in that case. And Shox, I mean, you were saying he's been playing phenomenal for them so far. 4 kills in, what, a space of 10 seconds?
That's crazy. I bet it looked ridiculous from his POV.
Absolutely lunacy, if I'm honest. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, Modi, he's been having a poor game, and that's bad to worse as an overall, like, grand scheme of things. You know, you consider he didn't know there was a player there, and Shox wins the round. It's outrageous.
Yeah, that's mental. Huge round. And actually so dominant in terms of how this affects the overall game as well. G2, they could pretty much get themselves to a 10th round here now because of this. This one should be a freebie. Heroic, they don't have much money at all. They could try force up around the AWP if they want to, but it's just not worth it. I mean, these rounds are just going to leave a sour taste in their mouths.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw G2 just win quite quick here. They know Essetag was the B player with the AWP.
Essetag still isn't a single frag of the game yet.
He's not had a chance to, if I'm honest, has he? You consider the rounds he saved. He was saved 2 rounds, right, with a rifle. He didn't even get a chance to shoot that rifle, and he dies through the smoke again.
Oh, Body gets 2, Ben.
What? Just consider, and he's killing his teammate as well.
I know, he's so angry.
He just wants frags through the smoke. And Essetag, I was just saying, he's had such an unlucky game.
Yeah.
Like, he dies double nade at sandbags when he has a rifle. With the AWP, he's not really had a chance. He got lurked killed by Smess. This time through a smoke. And Body, he's going to get flashed. This is a chance for a 5-man here.
Oh, he peeks out. Will make it the hat-trick before he is traded back upon Mertz. He knew the AWP was still there. They hadn't been able to get rid of it, so he did just want to recover it. They put him on the boost, but everyone is burning to a crisp. It's only Modi that remains. Will get 1 kill, but he has to retreat at the fire. Luckily, he can get away. This is going to be the round for G2, but he wants to make it costly if he can, or potentially save the AWP, but it's going to be so awful, Ben. This is not a good position to be in for Modi.
Yeah, he's tempting this chance, but let's be real, he's got no kit, no armor. He's walking into Kenny here. Unfortunately, he does go towards the library, so Kenny, he's holding that small archway angle. He keeps checking in between both of them. I'm not really sure what Modi's hoping to find here. Like, kills on towards like any of the G2 players. It's not going to affect their money. Like, they're in such a good spot right now. Instead, holding this exit a bit aggressively, if I'm honest. But that's 10-2. I think they're just going from bad to worse for Heroic, aren't they? Just think about the grand scheme of things. They've won 3 CT rounds so far this series. They're losing 22-3.
It's not great.
That's absurd.
It's really quite rough. Luckily, Modi was able to save the AWP, which is a saving grace for them because the money is going to all be reinvest into this round. They will rebuy up. And this is rough, Ben. It's a hard position to be in. They've only got 1 kit as well, just on Freiburg. If they get into a post-plum, they might not even have the chance to retake it. G2, if they win this round, they could project themselves to the very least, a 12-2 half, which would just be insane.
You got to be thinking there has to be something different done by Heroic, right? Just, you know, be proactive, do something around the map. But instead, the banana pressure was enough to force Heroic to do so many grenades at the top. It looks like G2 are going to be committing to this apps burst, whether it's with a flash. Mertz misses the shot. That does not help things at all. He did see 1 player in apartments. He should be calling that this might be an apps burst, but instead, Modi, he's going to be the lone warrior here. Smoke, the flash has come through. He's fully blinded, gets the first one.
Oh, that's big. Luckily, Modi can actually stop the push, and you can see their panic because of this. They didn't all fully commit out, and that's a further attack that comes through. But Kenny S, the wallbang onto Resilient. There's a player up through mid already. Oh, this round's all over the shop, Ben.
He knows there's a player coming through the pit bit. Freiburg, he doesn't know where to use his flash. He peeks mid with it and Shocks. This should be a free kill.
Oh, Shocks detects him. Trigger discipline on point. Finds the headshot. Existence. Best Essetag.
They know where Mertz was. He shot that AWP shot early on in the round. You can see Existence, or Smith rather, in the apartments. Just gets straight out of there. Doesn't need to do anything. Mertz has an AWP. G2 know this. And they've got the money to hunt. As soon as this bomb gets planted, they should be looking for that. And Kenny's, he's already advanced her lurking with this. He knows Mertz has an AWP, so if I lose it, he's already got one anyway. We don't lose that much other than the money buy.
Oh, Shocks has spotted him. Shocks. They don't want that double AWP. No reason to take it on the T side. Just keep Kenny on 1. And this has been tremendous. They're just steamrolling them, Ben. They've got their number.
It's very unexpected. But I suppose if we, take on literally today's form, the CT side, regardless of map, has not looked good for Heroic.
No.
And it carries on looking like that way. And Heroic, they force into this round. They need rounds at this stage. It's looking rough for them. 3 players towards banana for them. And they control the top of it. But they haven't had to fight for anything yet. G2, they've not even used much either. Silling, who was there to help them, moves away now. Molotov comes in on the corner. Molotov can come in the sandbag as well. Freiburg's going to be forced out. He has to run through 2 different volleys. He lives! Just about. I think there might have been a tiny little gap there in between the two Molotovs.
Yeah.
But even though G2 do not know about that damage, it changes the way that Heroic will be playing that B site, knowing Freiburg is so low. He gives his M4 to Tag. And Modi, I'm not too sure what that play is. I don't know why you'd be going into there that wide as well. Free kill for Shocks again. And he's going to carry on doing his antics in the balance. Look at the rotate, just of him putting the smoke on the balcony to flash out. Both B players are basically gone right now. The fact that he's causing that much of a pull is outrageous. The worst bit for G2 though is they're walking into 4 players. Somehow we're still... How did he get 2 and more damage as well?
I don't know how he's gotten away with that. That's crazy. That might actually save them into this round, potentially. If they can find some extra damage here, they are finding the frags they need. Everyone's falling to bits. It's only Kenny S that remains, but Kenny, you can never count him out. And a one-on-one versus S-Attack will be an opening kill into the game. And what a critical kill to pick up. S-Attack kills Kenny S with a wallbang. And Heroic finally get another round. It's 11-3. It would have got absolutely just all blown out of the water if they won that one, Ben. They would have just been left lifeless. But S-Attack gets the kill, 11-3. This is still such a one-sided game, though.
Consider that was his first kill as well. 14th round.
It's crazy.
The first kill of the game.
And against Kenny S in a 1v1.
Yeah, I was going to say, a very impactful kill, technically. But Heroic, they lucked out there. If G2 have gone towards B, it's probably round over. Instead, they run into the stack, and the mid push comes through. They're playing mid. First kill comes through mid. He's put them all down, but Smith, he battled through it. And now just down to Shocks. The mid battle has worked out for them. Asilian again, 2 kills. He got 2 last round as well. But Shocks has been playing so well this game. This is still winnable. He's got so much time to play with as well as the awkward thing. Like, this smoke will fade any second now. He's actually committing to walk through it. Gets the first kill. Asilian trades it out. 3 kills for Asilian that round. 11-4 half. So we've seen that one before, haven't we? An 11-4 half from a T side today.
And you know what's scary about it is... Ooh, hello. Those odds aren't great.
Not great if you are thinking of betting on G2, I suppose. Not a very good return.
It's pretty rough. Yeah, it's worrying as well because G2, I mean, if they're winning all these rounds this easily, with the half-time now, they're only going to flip over. I do feel like there is going to be a break in the momentum.
Shouldn't be, right? I guess they lost the last 2 rounds to half. If you're Heroic, if you've got one player being that pumped-up player just screaming like, we can still do this,
yeah,
then I suppose that's good. But for G2, they're just thinking, okay, 11-4, we would have been happy with 9-6 or 10-5. Right now, we're in a pole position to take this map.
Because the thing is, I mean, even on that round S-Tag won, that might have just been like a nice, all right, good round.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have been that happy with it. It was still, you know, it's an upset round. It's one that it didn't seem like they were going to win. But for it to go down to the wire and only to get you a 4th round, it's not amazing. And this pistol round could pretty much set the game in stone.
Well, if you think about it this way, so far the CT side has not won the pistol in this series. So G2 would have to break that current pattern to actually have a chance of running away with this map, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Heroic, they need the pistol to start this comeback. It's definitely possible. You know, we saw the game yesterday. It was what, 12-3 at the half for Space Soldiers. But I believe that was on the T. No, it was on T side, wasn't it? It was Paz running away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely possible for Heroic. Just you need every player to start stepping up because right now there's not many players actually doing it for them. S-Tag still only has that 1 kill, I believe. Modi maybe on 3. The only time they win rounds is when a player gets 2 or more kills. And that's been a rare sight so far.
Counter-terrorists win.
This second half pistol means so much and can really try and change the pace of the game here as the game will restart. And we are ready to get underway with this half and see how it's going to go down. The pistol means an awful lot. Which team is going to be able to take it? That is the all-important question as the buys start to come through.
So it looks like we're probably going to see no kit from that CT side. Shocks, not bought yet. Currently AFK in spawn. buys the kit. Okay, so he does get the kit.
It's interesting how last time we saw
It was
Kenny,
wasn't it? Yeah.
this time it's Shocks. I always feel like it should just be Existence.
Usually it's Existence or Smiths.
Yeah.
So the banana take comes in. They naded the corner at the top, so they know that Existence normally would face that, but he was gone way before they actually got the nade in. But they're playing like retake here. The front sight smoke comes in. Shocks is playing so far back in CT, this could work to his benefit. He's got 2 players in front of him as well. Doesn't actually get any of the kills, barely hits them as well. Existence, such a horrible spot to be in. Stuck at knee boxes, fully white, probably going to fall at any point now. But Kenny, he's just charged through! That's so bizarre, it's a 2v3, but body is so far away. Smith's, he'll find a kit near Shocks' body, or at least body will. But it's still, in fact Kenny managed to get it. So he's actually run all the way through CT that fast. And body, they're taking fights when they just don't need it. The bomb hasn't been planted yet. This is so weird from Heroic. Basically throwing away this pistol round here, unless Modi, who's not had a fantastic game, can clutch it.
Smiths and Body. Can they step up into this one, or is it going to be a Modi round? No. Body will kill him. And G2, they are projecting themselves to take this second map. And actually walk away with all 6 points, Ben. They won Dust 2. So they've already secured 3 from the series. Heroic, they've been conceding an awful lot of points. They have played the most games in Pro League so far. And bear in mind, this is only the end of week 1. This is day 4. So for them to struggle this much this early on, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting close. I think they're just above that 1 point per game average.
Yeah.
Which I imagine it's like, if you're thinking like the Premier League, right? You get 38 games in a season. If you were to get a point from every game, you'd probably stay up. And Heroic will probably be thinking the same. If we get a point from every game, we probably will stay up. That's an interesting buy from Shocks to actually play alone. And Mertz gets the 1D on Body as well. So they're starting off well for Heroic, but it could go wrong very quickly, is the worry.
It could. And they're actually going over towards the A site, where currently everyone is situated. All 3 players are here, but now there's only 2 that remain. As Molly gets the kill on Kenny S. Smith's towards mid, though. Single-handedly could shut this one down, as he will get double kill and punishes both of them. Freiburg and Mertz are out of action. As Cillian from quite a distance if he wants to use that XM10. However,
Smith is so low, though.
Yeah, he can be punished quite easily, especially if he gets that first kill on Existence. This could be winnable. Existence up on top of the box as Cillian expects it. He realises he's there. Oh, he gets the tag, but he couldn't convert it. Existence will kill him. And it's such a scrappy round, but they still pick it up.
Heroic, they've got to be thinking, how did we lose that round? It was a 4v2 in their favour. I mean, like Smith does make that big play, right? He goes aggressively towards mid, he kills 2 players. There was no trade to be made. But then, you know, Existence got themselves in such a good position that they tried rushing the plant, he stopped it. And now a pause comes through. I imagine a Heroic side, right, just to try and hold things up a bit.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, like hold it up. In fact, they got to buy into it because of how... So they took 3 guns off them last round. And they think, okay, we need to get a footing into this game. If this comeback's going to happen, we can't wait until next round. So they're going to try and force it here and now. It's a big call to make. Question is, will it be the correct call? And G2, they've got such good weapons for this as well. You don't see, you know, Candy with a USP or anything. He's got an MP5, UMP on body, 3 rifles alongside that. As soon as that Molotov comes through for me, that basically tells you that they are buying into it. And Kenny, look how aggressive this is. That's a good start for them as well. Followed by Shocks too. This is probably round over. They did not expect this aggression from G2.
No, they weren't ready for it. And they've been completely overthrown. It just keeps on giving as well. Smith gets the headshot over onto Modi. Shock should finally go down, but he just needs to stay alive now. He can fall back. Cillian will falter. It's all on Mert. So 1 versus 5 then. And this is not great at all for Heroic. This is going to be a 14-4 scoreline. G2, it'll be a flawless round as well if no one does go down, and no one is. So really the worst case scenario there. 14-4 as G2 set their gaze for victory on this map. And there is still no cash for Heroic. It's going to be a 15-4, and it's only a matter of time then before the game gets closed.
They're buying into it as well. They don't want to force overtime. They're playing for the win in regulation. Question is, do G2 think that it's going to be that case? Because Smith just got rid of his HE grenade there as he joins the players on Banana. If he did have a grenade, you know, you could add it to that artillery strike, right? Existence ran through Freiburg's molly there.
Yeah, this is bold.
So they know what they're doing clearly here.
Nade.
Timing. If Freiburg, you saw him run forward.
He got close.
Got straight out of there. Saw things about to kick off.
Ross camped it.
Ross camped right out there. Look how aggressive it is at Banana. They're taking it all the way to the bottom. Freiburg's going to be the lone player towards that side of the map. The question is, will G2 actually advance any further, or will they just hold that angle and just play for the late round play? Apps burst is going to be the call. Shox is in pit. It's not the player you want to be running into right now. So I believe it will be Freiburg setting up a smoke for mini pit. And the flashes will come through. In fact, it's going to be smoking off the pit entirely. Shox might think it's a quad play here.
Oh.
Body!
Body gets the double kill towards mid. This should be the round set in stone, but Modi will be able to at least find one. The nade rolls in, transfers a small amount of damage, and Kenny ignited on the site, but he still stays alive, and he sets his gaze, waiting for the push to come around. Modi should have been able to find that, but Body's just the one to just punish everyone, Ben. And it falls into a one-on-one. It's Modi. It's just Body that remains, sorry. In a one-on-one versus Asilian. He has the bomb. It would be a 4 kill for him if he can find this.
He's got an M4 there. The plant comes through. It's a fake plant. I think he saw the head. Body's playing this so slowly, but unfortunately, Asilian just catches him off. Somehow that round turns in the way it did.
Yeah.
Body got 3 kills into the round. 2 of them at mid before the push even came in.
It should have been a G2 round, through and through.
That's a lifeline for Heroic there. You know, they finally get a round on the board.
And they can double it up as well.
Yeah, can they build on that? Because G2 are letting them get this one more in. They're not thinking, we don't need to force into this, right? We can hold it down. We're not desperate for this round. Which is a very composed call right there. Same thing that happened yesterday on Inferno, remember, when they bought all these smokes.
Yeah.
Quite surprising to see Kenny actually messing with smoke though. His money's not great. Unfortunate for Shox there. He was hoping to get that 1D again. Banana control is given away by G2. However, unfortunately for them, they've given away Bracket's control as well. Smith is the only player over there. That probably looks like it's going to be an A call. So G2, they'll be able to keep these smokes for another day, depending on the Smith's performance on this site.
Oh.
He knows there's a player in there.
Yeah,
he's been baited into that aggression there. They're running away and stuff. You know, he forced the issue. Modi, really well played there. And now G2, they have to save, right? It's not worth it.
At least Heroic are wasting so much utility. Still unsure if the site was clear, so they're getting a lot of nades out. So it does make it more and more costly as these rounds go on, but for G2 it is just all about the save. Yeah,
the only thing to save really of value is probably Body's armor, I suppose. He'll be the one to drop an AWP towards Kenny. Although Kenny won't be able to give him much back in return. It'll be a bit of a one-sided trade deal. If that is the case, of course.
The worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
So Existence, just lurking around in the library. He might just run out and try and see if he can affect the player that saves in pit. But this hunt is coming in, the Body, the one player who had armor, gets taken down. Kenny's going to take the fight, weirdly. Gets the hit off. Does stay alive, man. Existence did run into the site then. He took Asilian down by damaging enough.
Yeah, that was actually very smart.
That was one of the rifles as well.
Yeah, it's big. And now they have cash. So for G2, it doesn't really matter too much about losing him. It was more damage done to Heroic than what they received themselves. The rebuy comes through. Heroic pretty much purely rocking the MP5s here, apart from one AK, one M4. And they've been proven. There's actually a fair bit of range to that MP5. It felt like it was quite restrictive, but they've been taking firefights and winning them in a lot of scenarios. I feel like they shouldn't. Ooh.
It's a bit of peculiar on Mertz. Does put that molly out. He doesn't quite know the spread there. Wasn't confident in it, I suppose. They're committing through that Molotov and smoke. But unfortunately, completely cancel flash. That Body, perfect spam. Traces him straight through that smoke. And he knows he does not need to commit to this. He gets that kill for free.
Yeah, he's done now.
And look at Existence's rotate. He knows, I don't need to be here anymore. You've still got smoke, haven't you? Okay. I'll leave you there for now. But then, clearly the call by Shox was made. Just saying, you don't need to actually be here. You can see the communication there. Existence and Body. The boost will come through. Existence get put up. He does not have any grenades to use, so this is a good boost. Whereas Body still has his smoke. And Heroic are going to be coming to this site. So can Body build up on his Heroic so far this half? He got 3 kills in that round they should have won. He's already got 1 this round. And they are coming into his site. The lurk will be on the other side of the map on Modi, but I don't think anything will happen there. The longer Heroic take it, the worse it is. Like, Body still has his smoke. He finally gets to put it down. He's put it down so close, so he can fight behind that.
Trades come through. It's a fast trade on outside. Existence, though, from the elevated angle. Bruise White so pivoted, but the awkward spam comes out. But Shocks wins the firefight and doubles down. Sets it for G2 to take it, as it is now 15-6. And Heroic, what more can they actually do, Ben? 1 round is all they require to close this out. They have the better buy. At least Heroic have more rifles this time. But for Freiburg, unless someone's dropped him a gun, he's actually just going to be having the P250. That's all he actually has.
Weirdly, you'd think he'd been having a really good game, but 13 kills, I suppose it was just a number of big rounds, right?
Yeah.
You know, 3 kills in one of them.
Rounds.
Yeah. And this is such an obvious play by Heroic. There's been no pressure at Banana whatsoever. Freiburg threw that single Molotov up there. That was it. And the Banana players, they get to keep all their grenades, whereas on the A side, it's quite sparse when you think about grenade use. You know, there's no smokes left, no Molotovs. If an execute were to come in, Heroic could overman these players on the site. So in fact, they're going to double up in pit. This is quite an unusual one. There is only 1 Molotov in play on the other side, and that's on Modi. I don't think there's a situation where he pulls it out and Molotovs the back of pit here either. Although if that smoke comes in, he can actually be able to do that. So here come the smokes. Push. He doesn't want anything coming in, and Modi dies without him getting to use it. Nothing else comes through. The B players, as I said, they still got their full grenades.
They can make so much time. Here comes the push, they hear it as well, so they know to drop the molly, they drop off.
They have to go through it, there's no smoke to put it out.
Look how much damage is done, the utility damage is through the roof, and it's an easy spam. Shocks with 2, Body with 2, G2 close it out. That is all 6 points picked up by them as they win Dust 2 and Inferno there. Looking in commanding form, Ben. A whole lot better than what we saw from G2 before. It seems like they've started to wake up and definitely impressive.
Yeah, consider I was giving some criticism to Existence before, saying that his calls were a bit lackluster. You know, they haven't been showing what we expect of him. That was a lot better, right? You know, you consider how many rounds on T was it? 23? Of a possible 30? Brilliant.
It's crazy, and I mean, that's just what it took, really. I suppose Existence stepping things up today, looking better than yesterday, more reminiscent of what we expect to see. He has always been known for being that tactical mastermind, and today it came through, and individually they popped off as well. I feel like a lot of that can be attributed towards Shocks, though. So many frags.
Definitely. He was popping off when needed, and that was one of the worries I had, right? You know, consider the win they got against FaZe yesterday.
Yeah.
They needed Canning to have 30 kills to make that happen. Shocks today, thankfully delivered. When needed, and Body to some extent as well. You know, that B hold was ever present. But ultimately, we can give all the praise to G2 we want. But Heroic as well, you know, you have to be thinking, the play that we've seen the past few days, it's not been fantastic from them.
No, it really hasn't. And if they're going to be able to sort themselves out, they need to step up soon, Ben. What was your final thoughts on that series then between G2 and Heroic, with G2 just walking away with a whole hog of points?
Surprisingly one-sided, I guess, is the ultimate thing, right? We thought a bit more 50-50 when looking at it, how current form looks. But G2 taking away 6 points, they'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, they will be indeed. Well, that is that series wrapped up. We'll see you after the break when we come back in for our second series of the day, FaZe versus Windigo.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.